Hello, everybody. This is Jeremy from Jets Chaos, and we got a great show for you tonight. A great show. A really good show. A really good show for you tonight. We are going to talk about what do we believe JD's going to do? Let's study his behaviors. Let's look at his past moves. Let's try to analyze and figure out what is JD going to do? Not what we want him to do necessarily, what we think he's going to do. Like, let's try to predict what's going to happen. We're going to do that when we come back. We're going to have my partner in crime when we come back right after this.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Nick.
Now you scared me.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
That was pretty cool. But without further ado, let me bring in the guy you all know, the guy you're here for. You're certainly not here to listen to me and look at my shiny head. You're here for this guy, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine.
I can hear them clapping. What's up, buddy? How are you? I can hear the ovation.
Yeah, the stand-up ovation for Nick
Yes.
Shine.
The 9-toe tilt.
Let's say hello to some people. We got Kuka Lake with us.
What's up?
Those of you who are watching on Twitter, if you want to comment, if you want to be part of the show, I believe your comments will show up here. I did a test when Nick was doing his show, and you were able to see my comments.
Yeah.
So I think, but the rest of the YouTube people won't be able to see you, and you won't be able to see the YouTube people. You could just come onto YouTube and go to Jets Chaos. That's the name of the channel, and watch on YouTube. Or you could just stay on Twitter and chat away on Twitter. And I believe I'll see your chats. If you are chatting on Twitter, let me know that. If you're putting something in the chat from Twitter, I want to know that it's working. So say, hey, I'm on Twitter chatting this to you. So, but, you know, to each his own, do what you want. I want to say hello to Kuka Lake, Snowball, who always makes fun of me for getting lost, looking for J9 in the parking lot of MetLife. That did happen. Wild Wave, what's going on, my friend? And Nick decided to Nick
Exactly what you said. Word for word. So it does work. And on Twitter, anyone who comments on Twitter, other people on Twitter will see it pop up.
Excellent.
But then it fades away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so
We're new. We're testing things out.
Nick.
We're
So
new to
look, we have debated. The fan base has debated and fought back and forth. You have the Bowers boys,
I haven't noticed.
right? You have the wacky wideouts. I made that one up myself. You have the offending offensive lineman or whatever. I forgot what the name of that was. And then, you know, you have the quacky quarterbacks. There's like maybe 1 in 1,000 that's like that want to grab Jaden Daniels if he slips, right? And you got the very defensive defenders. There's a few of them that wouldn't mind taking the best defensive player, right? And then you got the tricky trade backers, right? And they want to be able to trade back. And then you got
I'm the leaping Lanny Poffo. I want to leap up. I want to jump.
So you have all these different people, but I don't want to talk about that anymore. You know, I almost felt like the guy from The Warriors, the movie. You got the Bowers boys hanging out next to the wacky wide receivers, and nobody's wasting nobody. Can you dig it, sucker?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Got to get this information to Ryan, Green Bean, and Matt. Remember the old Radio City Music Hall draft where they had the stick with the team representative, and that was the table?
Yeah.
You have to divide the party for the draft night in those sections. You need the Bowers boys tables, you need the offensive lineman table, you need the wide receiver table, and you need like an others. Like you need to have like a stand-up pole with the sign on it. That would be dope. That would be pretty cool to see.
And then when it comes to our pick, everybody's chanting a different thing. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be people saying, trade our pick. And there's going to be people going, Bowers.
Or like you have the team trade up section, and when number 9 makes their pick and we don't trade up, somebody just takes that down, and those people have to now disperse into another area.
Shot
Matthias, are you going out there? I was thinking about going to the draft party. Tickets get released at 2:00 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you
so
going
you're
to the
talking
stadium,
about-
or are you going to go to Long Island, Matthias?
Yeah, Matthias, what are you doing? You going to the
I know
stadium?
you're a
or
Jersey
Long
boy.
Island? I think that the really the only people, maybe Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Long Island people are going to Long Island. Like a lot of people,
Fried on a Thursday night.
unfortunately, aren't going to make that trip, huh?
On a Thursday night, that's a tough ride.
Yeah, they may have wanted to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, they're going to do it with, in a place they knew. They knew the place. Like, they liked the place. But it would have been really cool if they were able to afford a place and it was doable, like in Manhattan, because then everybody can get there by train or something.
No Long Island. All right. Well, Matthias, if you go to the stadium for the draft party, let me know. In my group, Proud New York Jets fan, I'm trying to organize a get together, maybe in the parking lot, like a group meetup or something. I figured if the big three are going to be out in Long Island, let me capitalize on the New Jersey market that night.
Yeah. Oh, so Matthias says he'd love to go. So maybe Matthias, you should get a hold of Nick on Facebook, because
yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah. This way you can get together and get a group of people to go to the stadium. That'd be really
I put a post today, and as we get closer, my tailgate
you can
group.
meet up in J9. You can meet up in J9.
No, there won't be that many people, so we don't need to park that far away.
Yeah. But if you wanted to make sure I didn't show up, you would have it in J9. Yeah. So, yeah, Larry, they're having there's a draft party at the stadium at MetLife, and there's a draft party from Talking Jets that's in Long Island in
Farmingdale,
Long Island, at the main event. We can walk around lost like chaos. I'm never gonna live it down. It's gonna be like
It's such innocent fun too. It's not like somebody got hurt. It's not like somebody got left there. It's you. It's you.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to be very clear. What we're going to talk about today is what we believe JD is going to do, and again, try to throw out what you want to happen. Like, get that out of your head. We could go over the picks that JD has made in the past. I thought that would be a cool thing, that Nick likes to do that kind of stuff. Like, say, okay, he came and this is who we picked and this is who we picked. These what we thought our needs were. Like, let's do that kind of analysis, and let's try to guess what we think JD is going to do. I'm looking at RAS scores, especially for the later rounds. That's how I'm trying to guess later picks. I'm like, literally, I don't care about the position. When I see a guy with a 9.95 RAS score, I'm like yelling it out so I look smart. I think I found someone that JD might pick. Keep your eye on this guy. And I name the guy because I know that JD loves the great athletes. He loves to draft those guys. But in the meantime, I know that you let's do the super chat, and then we'll do the rant. I know you have a Buffalo Bills rant. Small Heath Court Jester says the draft party is going to be it. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Hopefully, if you're talking about the one in Long Island, definitely come up to me. Make sure we talk and hang out. And tell me what your screen name is, because that's like a big problem. People come up to me and say, I'm John. And I'm like, hey. But like,
I've never
you have
talked to you
to
before.
say, you have to say I'm the small Heath Colchester, and my name is John. And
You
then I
have
can
to
say-
wear a shirt with your YouTube profile photo on it. You have to get that printed onto a shirt. That's how he'll recognize you.
Yeah, Johnny Jimenez is here, by the way. He just came in. What's up, Johnny?
Hola, papi.
Oh, I have to
¿Cómo
get
está?
something that I show you. Remember, I have to show what Johnny got me, what he sent me.
You have to rock that.
Huh?
You have to rock that at the
Yeah,
draft party.
yeah.
I know that might be difficult to travel with, but if you can,
That's the problem.
that would be dope.
Guys,
Yeah,
thanks for the super chat. I mean, Small
Thank
Heath,
you.
thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so
And
Nick,
you saw
I'm
the
gonna-
name. You always mispronounce names.
Oh, hold on one second.
You saw that it's not Jester, it's Jetser.
Well, let's get this right.
Go.
So I'm going to give Nick the stage, and Nick has a rant. There's something on his mind about the Diggs, the Stephon Diggs trade, Buffalo Bills. So you take it, Nick. It's all you.
I am sick and tired of having it shoved in our face by the media, by other fans, how great the Buffalo Bills are. The Buffalo Bills have been a football team that have taken advantage of a piss-poor division for the last several years since Tom Brady left it. And they haven't done a goddamn thing with it. No Super Bowl appearance, no Super Bowl win, no beating Mahomes, none of it. Today, the Buffalo Bills got worse. Now, I know the fans are trying to tell you Diggs fell off last year. We'll be better without him. They took a massive cap hit. They got rid of, let's rewind. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills offseason. They've lost the majority of their secondary. We had to hear how good Poyer was. We had to hear how good Tre'Davious White was. Now, all of a sudden, they're not good. Jets fans always believe we can win. Buffalo always believes that they get rid of players at the right time. That's their psychosis in their heads. This Buffalo team is 1-2 in the last 3 games against Zach Wilson. Are we really dominated by this team? We've been the most injured team. I am not afraid of the Buffalo Bills. I do not think that this is a team we have to stress about. You want to talk about Miami's speed? Sure, that can create a problem for us. We saw it this year, right? The defense gave up uncharacteristically 30 points in a game. Miami's potential to be explosive scares me. Josh Allen losing his go-to receiver excites me. You're going to bring in a rookie? Okay. Go meet Sauce Gardner. Go meet DJ Reed. Go meet Michael Carter. Now, everyone knows who've watched the show, I am a big Curtis Samuel fan. I wish that we had gotten him. I think I would be excited with Mike Williams, Curtis Samuel, and Garrett Wilson. But he doesn't scare me. They don't have anyone that scares me. Josh Allen holding the ball excites me. This pass rush going at Josh Allen while he's developing chemistry with other players excites me. Playing the Buffalo Bills excites me. I do not fear this team. I do not think that they have a stranglehold on the division. I don't think anything of the sort. I think that this team's window never even opened. You got to at least get to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl. He's done it. He's gotten over the hump. He beat Mahomes. Allen's never done it. And today, with this move, their chances have slimmed. Houston's has gotten better. Hell, even Kansas City's, I think, has gotten better because Diggs could go off against them. The New York Jets are in a good position in the division. If the health stays the right way, Rodgers is there, this offensive line stays together, we had another weapon, the New York Jets will win this division. Today is a good day to be a Jet fan. I know it's only April. I know we still have games to play. We have to get guys healthy from week to week. But right now, Jets fans, stick your chest out. Be happy. Be proud. Be excited. Be fucking chaotic. Because that's what we do here. Thank you. I'm Nick Shine, and I approve this message.
I like it. I agree because I'm really tired of hearing about it from Bills fans. Like when I read like on Twitter and stuff, I'm sick and tired of hearing them talk about us as if we haven't split with them the last 2 years with no quarterback, with tons of injuries, and they come in and start judging us and saying things. Oh, just because Aaron Rodgers is done, or just because you guys added this, you think you're good. It's like, well, wait a second. We beat you with Zach Wilson. So now we're going to kick the shit out of you with Aaron Rodgers because now we're going to have a competent quarterback. Look, I still understand that division games, sweeps are not always in the cards. So I understand that even if we're better, there's a possibility that we're just going to sweep with them because it's just that's the way it goes, right? Like Miami, like we might sweep with them, sweep with the Bills. We might be a team that goes 12-5, and those are 2 of our losses. It's just one of those things.
Zach Wilson split with the Bills the last 2 years, Joe.
Yeah.
Like,
and they
let's
might
put this into perception. Zach Wilson is 2-1 the last 2 years against the Bills. The dominant Buffalo Bills, the putrid New York Jets offense. 1 game in Buffalo, Mike White started. But Zach is 2-1 the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. I love this scenario.
Me too.
Like if we were to get a Dunze and sneak back up and get a guy, you know why I love it? Because Mims, I think, might need a year just to make sure he's healthy from the injury that he had, because he came back for the freaking draft combines and got hurt again. But also Guyton, I think, actually has a nice ceiling. Like Guyton is, the problem with Guyton, like if you want to call it a problem, is not that he's not a great prospect. It's that a lot of people think he doesn't have the physical strength to come in as a starter. But the beautiful thing is we're not asking him to do that. If we were to draft Guyton somehow by, in the second round or crawling back to the back of the first round, we're just at, it's going to be one of those Carter Warren, Max Mitchell things. The intent was never for you to start. You're only going to start if there are injuries and you're the best backup we have. But he, to me, my player comp for him is George Fant, because similar to George Fant, he's extremely quick and fast and really good at blocking in space, but needs to build up his strength for inline blocking. Like Fant, except Fant had done that when he switched over, when Seattle made him a swing tackle. Guyton's going to need a year to build up his muscle mass and, get stronger, but the athleticism is there. And George Fant, I told Dom C that. He said it's a good player comp. He goes, but I'd be disappointed. I think he has a higher ceiling than George Fant. So I would love it if we got Guyton on top of a Dunze. I think that would be a great draft for us.
He changed his icon photo since the last one. Well, first off, thank you again for the super chat. Absolutely. Small Heath Court Jetster. Bills had their chance. It's our time now. I agree. They had their chance for about 4 or 5 years. They did nothing with it. They went all in. They traded for Diggs. And they
our
got
time now. Our
they
time. My time.
It's WrestleMania week. So your time is up. My time is now. You can't see us. Our time is now.
There's some movie where it's like, it's my time now. My time. I'll remember what it's from.
Gremlins?
Patrick Paul is another.
Gremlins?
Yeah, well, Definitely Gremlins had that speech too. He goes, this time is our time. It's our time. But there was another time too. There's another example of it too.
All right.
Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I agree with Lawrence. I don't know if you saw me there, Lawrence. I was at the Senior Bowl too. Oh, they say. Yeah, I was there. Guyton did really well. Patrick Paul did really well. Patrick Paul didn't stand out like Fuaga and Guyton did, but he was very good. He did really well that week. We definitely liked him. And he's a guy who could play all 4 positions outside of center. So that's a nice thing too, because he could be, if he's not better than Warren and Mitchell right off the bat, he certainly probably would be our best guy to come in if one of our guards went down.
Yeah. And let's not ignore the fact that we have an elite right tackle and an elite left tackle starting. A Hall of Fame type of tackle is at left tackle now with Tyron Smith.
Mhm.
Being in the room, the meeting room, learning how to break down the opposition, picking up tendencies on film, seeing the things that an all-pro sees will help the entire room, right? Maybe there's a tell when they're going to stunt. Maybe there's a tell when he's going inside. Maybe it's something that a guy who plays at that elite level sees that maybe even coaches don't. So having that room improve, basically what we thought we were getting last year with Aaron Rodgers in the quarterback room, we're getting now with Tyron Smith in the offensive line room. That's the elite level that he's been at. So I think I don't know if we go O-line first. Like I'll go right into the JD thing if you're cool with it.
Yeah, I just want to respond to this one thing.
Sure.
Yes, we met with Max Melton. That is true. I understand why a lot of people would be upset if we use 72 on Max Melton. I just want to say, first, I just have to throw this in. I interviewed, me and Dom went over to a lot of guys. Basically, I was the one that went over to them. Dom did the interviews, but I'm the one that's fearless. Like I was going over to guys and grabbing them and saying, dude. So I went over to Max Melton and I said,
Dane, I need that clip.
I said, Rutgers, baby, Rutgers. And he turned around and he looked at me and I said, oh yeah, that's my boy. And like I literally went in for a hug and we gave each other a half hug. And I said, I go, you want to stay around, man? Play for the Jets? And I was messing with them. And then Dom did the interview. Let me tell you something about this kid. This kid, I'd be the only fan maybe that wouldn't be angry if they took him. I know a lot of everybody's pissed off. Why'd we take a cornerback? But I love this kid so much. I'd be happy because he was such a great kid. Like I loved him. But I don't think the players we interview necessarily mean we have to be concerned. I think that it's about not leaving rocks unturned. It's about not knowing how the draft is going to work out. What if there's some crazy trade where we end up with a bunch of picks? It doesn't mean he's thinking of using 72. It might just mean there's a bunch of trades and things go down and suddenly we have extra picks and there's Max Melton sitting there, right? So they're interested. So I don't know. I wouldn't panic over it, but that would be weird if we took a cornerback in the third round. I mean, I know that that would mean that we're planning on replacing Reed after the year. That's what that would mean. That would be like the McDonald pick. That would mean somebody's going to go next year, like goodbye Reed or goodbye Carter.
It's probably going to happen. You're going to have to extend Sauce. Maybe going into year 4, he's eligible for an extension after the season. And I don't think you're going to extend Reed, extend Carter, and give Sauce the biggest contract ever in cornerback history in the NFL. I just don't see it happening. I think this coaching staff and the front office believes that they can find, and I always use the Philly game as the example, right? We're missing 3 of our top 4, and we were able to hold Philadelphia to 14 points with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So I believe that as much as we like the guys, there's no way to keep all 3 of them.
I believe you could fly.
And that's a good Jets reference, too. Minus the whole R. Kelly thing in his real life, but the song was good.
But let's go back. Let's think about Joe Douglas. Think about this pick. Now, I think like as far as the pick is concerned, we know that he's willing to pick a player that's not the biggest position of need. We've learned that, but even though he's done that, it's always been a position that is going to be in need. So now, except with the exception of Sauce Gardner, where he just fooled us, where he said, "Yeah, the fans like Bryce Hall, but that's not the level of cornerback we want. This is a night and day different." Like, it's kind of like, and I'm not saying that I believe this, but it's kind of like when the argument of people say we have Conklin, and some people say you're setting the bar really low if you think Conklin is someone to brag about. Like, he's an average tight end. That's, it might not be a desperate need for us, but Bowers would be such a jump up. that would be an argument of why JD might be willing to pick Bowers. When someone says, "Oh, he'd never do it," we have Conklin. Well, the reality is we didn't think he would take Sauce Gardner because we had Hall and Reed, because he had already signed Reed. So, do you think that logic puts Bowers more on the table, even though most of us believe it's wide receiver OT that's the real need?
I don't label Bowers tight end, and I think that's a really, really lazy take. Not by you, but it's out there.
I get it. I understand.
And he's a weapon. He's a mismatch. He creates issues for the defense. We need more of those guys. It's not enough with Garrett and Brees. We already know we lost one of them for almost an entire season. You can't, if we're talking nonstop about offensive linemen, and we have a very good starting five, why are we not talking about if Garrett Wilson goes down? Our team is in a worse situation if Garrett Wilson goes down than if any of the offensive linemen go down. It's the truth. You might not like it. It might not fit your narrative, but the stone cold fact, another WrestleMania week reference, the stone cold fact with this is that if Garrett Wilson gets hurt, we do not have a receiver or a downfield weapon that scares anybody. We had Garrett Wilson in the Miami game, and go look what Miami did to us. They put Jalen Ramsey up in Garrett Wilson's face, and they said to everyone else, beat us. Granted, we didn't have great quarterback play, but that film doesn't show very good. There wasn't a lot of guys getting open. Zach had nowhere to go with the ball. He was getting ducked. I believe it was Zach for the Miami game, right? But the ball wasn't getting out. The line couldn't hold up. They didn't respect our weapons. They didn't respect our line. Yes, things change with Aaron Rodgers. I know what you're already going to type. But if Garrett Wilson were to miss time, this offense becomes very pedestrian. It's just the way it is. And I don't think that Joe Douglas is going to operate the draft with the fear and panic that our fans have. And let's be real. There's a lot of fans out there who have a complete PTJD, post-traumatic jets disorder. They think automatically we're going to need linemen 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 because it's happened the last 2 years. What do we do if Garrett goes down, guys? Lazard starting? You got nobody who can get open within 3 yards against press man coverage. You got big bodies in Mike Williams and Lazard, but you can't throw one up on a fade to the sideline every time and hope Mike Williams just pulls it down.
Right.
There is a need for another guy who is shifty, quick, speedy, and can get open immediately against man coverage. You want to give me Odunze? I'm cool with that. You want to trade up for Neighbors? I love that. That's what I want. I think you go up to 5 to the Chargers and say, hey, we know you want an offensive lineman. We know you can get one at 10. We'll give you next year's 2, and we'll give you our number 1 4 this year, our first of the 2 4s. It's a little bit of an overpay to get the 5, but you're not going for a quarterback, so you don't have to pay drastically. And see if they take that. And they can move back a little bit. They could still get their Alt or their Fashanu and do what Harbaugh says. I think we move up. I think that the New York Jets go up and get another playmaker and give Rodgers something he's never had. 2 elite wide receivers with a physical specimen like Mike Williams who can be an amazing red zone threat. And you can move Garrett Wilson into the slot where he can just get free releases and own over the middle. And now Conklin can open up because now the linebackers and safeties are more worried about Garrett in the slot, which would open up a Conklin. I think it's just it's a domino effect of positivity. And I think weapon is how we go. And you can trade up into round 2, like somebody said, forgive me before in the chat, I forget the name. But somebody said you trade back up into 2. If you're going all in, get a weapon and a receiver in round 1 and 2. And I'd rather get the weapon in round 1 and let the linemen sit and develop than have to rely on a second round wide receiver to be the number 1 guy. I'd rather get a guy we know can come in and be the number 1 guy and then have someone who can develop as a tackle. I think that's the approach the New York Jets take because that's what makes us better day 1.
Well, I think that – so I want to say – and I agree with you. I think there are 3 key guys, right? I mean, Marvin Harrison, that would require trading up. Obviously, he's not going to fall to 10. We know that. The one thing that I think, and this is a good thing, I think the
We can
one
have him
thing
hang out with Denmark Andy. Maybe get him to fall a few spots.
I think a positive is if JD does see that, if he thinks the way you think, and he's saying, and he's just realizing we are thin at wide receiver. We got a guy coming off of an ACL. We have, a kid in Garrett Wilson who's been healthy and available, but puts his body out there. I think what we might believe, yes, we can't have Lazard be our number 3. And this is a great opportunity because the market is very expensive for wide receiver. It's a very, we see that they're very highly valued. And if Roman Odunze was there, I want to really, I know a lot of people, myself included, has Neighbors above Odunze. It is not there's not a big separation or gap in these two guys. Like it's very
different.
possible.
They're different, but both are elite.
Different players. Odunze very well might end up being the better NFL player. It's not crazy. It's not. He is every bit the prospect of a wide receiver 1 for this league. Like he is an excellent prospect. So there are people who have him above Neighbors on their board, and they're not crazy because it is close. And it depends on your scheme. So there's a chance that Odunze is above Neighbors. So, but the point is, if JD likes him and takes him, you're right. He is rookie year floor for him is a solid WR2 on the path of becoming a very, a ceiling of a star receiver. So it makes sense. Because now all of a sudden, if you don't have injuries, now it's such a strength of the team. Because now you'll have Garrett Wilson, Roman Odunze, and Mike Williams. The only question will be, does Odunze beat Mike Williams out for the number 2 wide receiver role? Eventually, we know that. Yeah. If Mike is healthy, if Williams is healthy, it's in the beginning of the year. It's like they don't like to give the job to rookies. But by the end of the year, will he become and develop into the WR2? That's how good he is. So
Agreed.
It's a very strong argument is what I'm saying. It's a very strong argument of why we should take a weapon.
The biggest thing New York Jets fans have to cheer for is a 4th quarterback going in the top 9. A 4th quarterback increases the chances of that weapon getting to us. If your team weapon, you want 4 quarterbacks to go. You want a lineman to go. You want a defensive player to go. And then one other player.
Look who's back.
Look who's back.
We the people. It's like you got all the smoke out of the house and was able to find the wire and replug his computer, and he's back. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you.
I would love to be in the meetings and then hear just unedited what's being discussed. I think it's safe to say.
By the way, how do you cross compare positions? Like when you do a board and you're looking at, let's say, Fashanu, and you're looking at Roman Odunze. Is he full of crap? He says best player available. Is that full of crap? Is he say? Is there? Doesn't he? Don't you think he creates categories? And says if you have two guys in the same category, you take the one that's the more of the position that they want.
If you're saying offensive tackle and wide receiver, the rating of the player are equal, how would they break the tie? I think immediate impact would help break it. Or you can look at the opposite of it and say long term, who can be a better prospect? Who would be better with us long term? I am petrified to think that if our weapons get a couple injuries, I'm petrified to think what we're rolling out. Brownlee, Gibson. Now I know Aaron Rodgers can make, lemonade out of lemons, but I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to find out the answer. I don't want to have this all-in season with all these one-year deals and not have guys who can get open in a big spot. I keep referencing this, and if you've heard me say it before, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again for those that are new. Aaron Rodgers uncharacteristically throws a higher interception rate in the playoffs because he's trying to force the ball to his main guy, whether it was Devontae, whether it was Jordy. And coverages in the playoffs are better. Coaching is better. I want multiple guys in big moments that we know we can go to and we know can get open. And if you want a double A, I'm throwing a B. You want a bracket B, I'm throwing a C. You want to try to take away all three? Oh, I got Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. I want layers to our attack. I don't want what the Packers had in 2020. I don't want 130 catches by one guy, 52 by a tight end who's unknown, and then Aaron Jones was third in receptions. I want guys who can have a big game week in and week out. You take away one guy, another guy can beat you. I want to have it so that our offense cannot be stopped. We don't have to worry about a Jalen Ramsey eliminating Garrett Wilson. You want to do that? We're going to do this. That's fine. Garrett, you got the week off. You're going to be a decoy this week, and we're still going to put up 30. What's up, Sean? How are you doing? Who's top second-round receiver and who's best second-round alignment? I don't know the answer, just a question.
Jordan Morgan.
You got Morgan, Paul, for
Is that guy
tackle.
Kingsley? Nobody likes that guy Kingsley for whatever reason.
I think Jets fans just have a bad taste of BYU in their mouth, and they don't even want to draft anything from the school.
Yeah, because we never mention him. No Jet fan mentions him.
No, I just think everyone sees BYU and the PTJD goes bing.
But here's the real question, though. Do you think, because we're talking about what JD's going to do you think JD has all these fears that you're holding right now? Because remember, he went into last year okay with our offensive line, even though a lot of us knew this is crazy. They're old men. They're going to get hurt, or they're injury prone, and we can't trust them. So why do we know that he's not going to do the same thing at wide receiver? Why do we know that he's not going to also be delusional and think that we're okay going in with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams?
Because his head coach threw bag of shit Alan Lazard under the table and basically threw Joe under the table for signing the guy, right? If indirectly. So if Joe and Saleh are on the same page, we need a better weapon there. We got Mike Williams, but we need another guy. Imagine Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, and either Neighbors, Odunze, or even Bowers. Imagine Bowers lining up in the backfield where you already got Tyler Conklin on, and he shifts out into motion, and they got to walk a linebacker or a safety out on him. That's funny. But I want mismatches. I want Aaron Rodgers to have a field day. I want him to be able to read the defense and just say, oh, this is what you're doing. Oh, this is going to be fun. Watch this. And just light it up. On top of Breece Hall going for 2,000 total yards and being the main focal point.
Okay. Now, remember, when I ask you this question, it's not about whether you like it. I'm going to ask you, what do you think it changes JD's mindset? Will he believe this? So here's the question.
What do you got?
If we go out and we sign Corey Davis, if he comes back to the Jets, do you think that changes JD's urgency to take a wide receiver in the draft? Do you think that will sway him a little away from wide receiver? Because now it's not Lazard, now it's Corey Davis that is the WR3.
I have to preface my answer with my take, if that's okay.
Okay.
I, in no way, shape, or form, want to touch a wide receiver who voluntarily sat out for a year.
No, we know that.
That's just, I'm prefacing it with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Joe Douglas does that. I don't think they're going to roll the dice again of going into training camp with a player who walked away for whatever reason, walked away last minute, right? When the team was set, his role was solidified. He was being talked about as a leader. He was probably going to be a captain with Rodgers. And I don't think you get burned twice by that. It would be foolish by Joe. I will say that I think Davis is a Lazard type. Like, he's better, but I don't think Corey Davis has ever scared anybody. He's never gotten 1,000 yards. He's had some nice little moments, but he's not a guy that scares the opposition. We got that already with Lazard. It's a guy who might make a play every 4 or 5 games, a big play. I don't think Corey Davis is the route that they want to go. I think Corey Davis is the last of a dying breed at wide receiver who are bigger, physical, not the quickest. I think now all the elite wide receivers that you see are shifty, are quick, are in and out of routes faster, get the ball, can make moves and make people miss and go. It's not Corey Davis. Corey Davis is like a poor man's a very poor man's Andre Johnson, like a physical guy without the breakaway speed. And I just think that day of NFL wide receiver is not how teams are looking to build. Look at the Vikings. You got Addison and Jefferson. Those guys embarrass people in the open field. So I don't think Corey Davis is a move the Jets make. I don't think it's something they can afford to get egg on their face twice. And that's no reference to you with the egghead thing, just a coincidence.
So if he did sign him, though, it means that he does have some belief in him. Obviously, why would he sign him? So to me, it would be a warning sign, because I would be like, uh-oh. If he's is he really gonna take Roman Odunze and now have, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Odunze, Corey Davis is 4, Lazard is 5, Xavier Gibson is 6, and then Brownlee's probably out of a job. Maybe
I would rather have Brownlee on the come up than Davis as is.
Wow.
Davis was always, what could it be? Davis is always a kid on Christmas morning thinking they were getting every gaming system and then they got a box of chocolate. Davis was all about the hype and potential and what could be. Corey Davis is a below average NFL wide receiver. Look at his stats, look at his numbers. Forget about how you wanted him to succeed. He didn't.
Right.
He had the one good catch against Pittsburgh to get a first down. He had the one big catch against the Titans to get a touchdown on the Zach highlight of his career, the point and go. What else did he do? We wanted him to be something that it's not. It's like dating a girl that you're not interested in, but you want a wife and you're crossing your fingers that maybe she works out. That's Corey Davis.
I think the best way to sum it up is he's been out of college for 7-8 years and he still doesn't have a 1,000-yard season. I mean, at some point, and if you've been around long enough, you'll know you can make excuses, you could say injuries, you could say he left the team for a year, but the bottom line is, at the end of the day, how many people get drafted and 8 years later in their career finally hit 1,000 yards as a receiver?
Drafted in the top 5, Jared. Drafted in the top 5.
Yeah, so it's just obviously not going to happen. But
Calvin Johnson was drafted in the top 5. Jamar Chase was drafted in the top 5. Right. Andre Johnson was drafted in the top 5. Corey Davis was drafted in the top 5. I don't even think he's got 5 great plays as a Jet. Let's stop with this guy. Not you.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. No. Obviously, and he's
a bust. He's a Zach Wilson of wide receivers. He's
the only way that you could justify bringing Corey Davis onto this team, if you're JD, the only way to justify it is if there's absolutely no intention for him to be a WR1 or 2. Like if you're looking for a guy that can get 500 to 600 yards. And he's on the cheap. Oh yeah, that guy could get us 500 to 600 yards. And in case there's an injury, he has the size and the experience to play on the boundary. Fine, but there's no way that Corey Davis comes in here with the expectation of, oh yeah, that's our answer. If Mike Williams can't go, Corey Davis is our answer. I don't want him as a WR2. At best, he's like a WR4 after the slot that replaces your WR1 or 2. If they get hurt, he comes in in an emergency, but he's definitely not a guy you want to rely on. No. And I think that's a good comparison. He's kind of in the same boat as Lazard. We don't trust him. We can't rely on him. He's not the guy we want to see come in.
No, I'll say this. I'll tell you the only way I see Corey Davis as a New York Jet. If by mid-October, Mike Williams and Alan Lazard are both out for the season. And then you got to go get a big body guy, and Davis is still available. I think that would be the only time. I wish we could ban a certain name from the chat, as if I don't even want to say the name on air, but I just wish we could ban that name
You're
from the
still
chat.
bothered by, you're still so bothered by that.
I don't like anyone who would come into our chat and disrespect us. I don't like it.
Look, I'm laughing because I've been disrespected so many times. But
I'm popping my cherry. I'm sorry. This popped my cherry.
Welcome to my life. If Corey wants a 1-year incentive-based deal, I'm okay with it, but let's do it after the draft.
Yeah, but who are you getting rid of? Because, Sean, let's go through the receivers as of now. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Mike Williams. You got Lazard. You got Gibson. You got Brownlee. You got Irv Charles. That's 6 right there. If you draft somebody, that's 7. Now you're going to have to lose one of those guys. I think Irv Charles is going to be solidified as a special teamer, right?
Definitely have to lose
Hardy's gone.
Yeah.
And unless they pull something else out of the air. Oh, go ahead. Thank you again, man.
Look at this guy. You're the man. You're the man. Keys to division. Rodgers, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. All that very realistic. Brees, 1,300 rushing. Very realistic. 1,200 for Garrett. I think that's under what I'm expecting. We do this. Division is ours. 11-6 home playoff game. There's nothing about what you said that's even grandiose. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing even big here. Like, Rodgers should definitely get 4,000 yards plus. He's done it his entire career when healthy. There's no reason not to expect it.
With our defense, 18 touchdowns gets us the division. 30 touchdowns might get us home field throughout.
Right. And then
go add those 15 touchdowns. I don't think we threw for 15 last year as a team. If we throw 15 more touchdowns, that's another 5 wins. That's another 5-6 wins in certain games.
Right. And if the offensive line stays somewhat healthy, Brees, 1,000 yards with one of the most decapitated offensive lines, one of the worst in history. If our offensive line stays healthy, now he has a competent offensive line. 1,300 would be a disappointment to me if the offensive line stays healthy. I expect 1,500 on the ground from him. And GW, if Rodgers stays healthy, I'm expecting 1,600 yards from Garrett Wilson.
I love it.
So I love this. I mean, I love this because all of this is very real.
But I love that he changes his profile picture for each one. There's a new photo in each time he's done a super chat. That's great. I love that.
This is why I believe, honestly, why I say 12-5, 12-5. When I look at our schedule, and every schedule looks difficult. Like, everyone's going to argue and say, like, anytime you say, oh, it's a good schedule. No, it's not. We got to play. Look, if you compare our schedule to the last 2 years, and what we're looking at right now, and we don't know because every year is different, but if you look at it right now, as it stands right now, and you consider a healthy offensive line with Aaron Rodgers, and I look at that schedule, I see 12 wins, man. I see 12 wins on that schedule, even possibly more.
If this team is healthy, and we get 77% of Aaron Rodgers from his MVP seasons in 20 and 21, this team is going to be damn near impossible to beat if health is on our side. And if we get that Aaron Rodgers at anywhere from 70 to 80% of his MVP performances, quote me right now. Clip it, do whatever you want to do, save it, bookmark it, whatever. Screen record it, here it goes. We have the best roster in the entire NFL. This team healthy, I think, is the best roster. And if Rodgers is what Rodgers was, we have the best roster in the entire NFL. I think we have a top 8 offensive line. I think we have a top 2 running back with CMC. I think Garrett Wilson is going to be a major star. I think our tight ends are our weakest position on offense. I think our special teams are top 5 in the league. Of curious to see what the new kickoff does for strategy and coaching, but I love our coach on special teams, so I like that challenge. And we have a team that could be what Baltimore was last year, with an offense that controls the ball more, with an offense that will score more, with an offense that will give this defense the ability to play with a lead. I think you're looking at a team that could be like the Ravens last year when they were number 1 in scoring, number 1 in yardage, and number 1 in turnover ratio. Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over. So I think that, and listen, I said I wouldn't do that, right? Like, I don't want to make crazy predictions, but this is not a crazy prediction, Jer. This is all shit that if this team stays healthy, could very well be the best team in football. Granted, the playoffs come, and then there's hot coordinators, and you got to go through Kansas City, Cincinnati. Baltimore's proven they can easily get steamrolled in the playoffs, even at home with number 1 everything. So they don't worry me. But that's a dig. This team fully healthy. Give me 20 games of this team healthy. Give me 20 games of this team healthy, and let's see where everything falls. And in the end, we might be in New Orleans partying like goddamn rock stars.
Yeah, when you sit there and you think about how bad our offense was last year, and then you could look at it on paper right now and say that the weakest room healthy, when healthy, the weakest room is tight ends. That's an amazing thing to be able to say, because we have good tight ends. Like, the reason it's the weakest room is we don't have stars. Now, some could argue that the offensive line is a weaker room because you're going by names on paper, but there's no continuity. They've never played together. So there's got to be an assumption that they're going to have that chemistry. But if they stay healthy, they will develop that chemistry.
And that's where you count on your defense maybe to carry you. And they're capable of doing it. Almost everyone's back.
I believe that we changed our blocking scheme, too, to a power gap, which I think is a lot easier than – I think we called for it for a while, and I think that that's what this coach, this offensive line coach, Keith Carter, likes. I think that's what he did with Henry, and I think he wants to build that kind of offensive line to allow Breece Hall to be the new Henry, to really utilize him. So I think that might really help, because it's just an easier blocking scheme, or at least I was told it was. So that could
be interesting to see, if I could just chime in with that. It's going to be interesting to see if Breece has an adjustment period to that, right? Because we've drafted our running backs to be that zone read, plant, and go type of run, and Breece has proven he's outstanding at that. So I'm curious if there's when the live bullets start flying in real games, because we know we're not going to play a lot of the first string offense in the preseason, if there's a timing adjustment, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to know when to turn it on. He's got to know when to be patient and then accelerate. Or if it's just smash mouth, go hit the hole as hard as you can. That's what she said. But I'm very, very curious as to the run blocking attack and how it can. And let's be real. I'm very curious to see what we do at running back 2. I don't think Izzy is ready for running back 2 role. It's good.
He's very young.
I know I don't like this guy, Jer. I don't like him. I don't want him. But the more days that pass, the more I look at Ezekiel Elliott and I say he can catch the ball. He's a great pass blocker for a running back, if not the best in football. What that'll help us with Rodgers, right?
Yeah. Short yardage.
I don't want him, but man, I would love to win a Super Bowl with Elliott and Tyron Smith from the Cowboys on the Jets. Oh, that would be the best. I would love talking trash to Cowboys fans more than I would like Dolphins, Bills, or Patriots fans.
But he's actually a good locker room guy. Like, he is a veteran guy that would help the younger running backs. He'd help Izzy, So
I don't know. I just
he'd
think
be a good fit.
I think you're going to see McGovern and then a veteran running back gets signed. I think Kyle Edwards Hilaire just got signed. So that's another guy I was like, maybe, right? He's a guy who's shown he could be a starter in the league, and he can carry a bigger load if we have a game with a lead and we want to take the load off of Breece that week. I just think that if post-draft, if we don't get another running back, which I don't think we're going to get a high one, that's when you see somebody jump for Zeke. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do it. I'm not screaming for it. It just wouldn't surprise me because I think that's an outstanding backup and a guy who can carry the load if Brees, misses a week with a concussion or whatever.
I definitely agree. He's the kind of guy that we could utilize as long as he's willing to take that role. But he's the guy we could utilize, I think, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 3rd on the goal line, 1 yard line and all that kind of stuff. Ezekiel could be that guy. And also, like you said, I agree. If Brees Hall has to take a game off, if he's out for half a game, whatever, anything like that happens, knock on wood, though. But Ezekiel's a guy for 1 or 2 weeks can continue and give us a good running attack that's still a threat.
Yeah.
He didn't it's kind of like Adrian Peterson was for the Washington Redskins. Like he probably still has enough in the tank that if he's not overused and he just gets an opportunity for 1 week to start or something, could give you a game where he runs for 120 yards,
And I think it would be ecstatic and a great social media clip for the Jets team to do a Tony Adams and Ezekiel Elliott. What is your name? What is your name? Tony, what's your name? Ezekiel. Well, fuck you, Ezekiel. Fuck you, Tony.
But I love the whole concept of I have a very good friend who's a Dallas Cowboy fan, and going up to him, if they won the Super Bowl, if we won the Super Bowl with 2 Cowboys, I just give him such crap.
Well, I mean, it would take me a while to get to that page of my bookmark shit talk. I told you so, because it would be, I mean, my fingers would match my toe. They would just fall off from overusage of shit talk that I would do. I can't do Dobbins. I know a couple of people have popped that name up. He didn't make opening day and he couldn't get through week 2. I cannot in any way, shape, or form sign Dobbins. Not off of an Achilles, not as a running back, not with our turf. No, I can't do it.
Yeah. I love this one. Not if he was throwing the ball off the boat. If he fell out of the boat. He'd be like the what was the name of that wrestler who couldn't get eliminated from the Royal Rumbles because his feet wouldn't touch the ground.
Oh, Kofi Kingston.
Oh, he's like the Kofi Kingston of falling off boats. He still can't hit the water.
He didn't do it this year. I think he messed it up. Finally.
He was out so fast. What happened? Do you think they just?
I don't know. I think he went to do it at one point and it just didn't work.
Yeah, there were times where he took a chance where I was like, wow, there was no guarantee it was going to work. Like once
the
he
chair hop
himself and the
chair hop when he ran around the barrier and then jumped back to the stairs. It was always entertaining what Kofi would do. Like we know the winner has to point at the WrestleMania sign, right? But it was like more what's Kofi going to do this year?
Yeah. Well, my brother, they have a theory that when there's still 3 guys fighting, when it goes down to 3, the first person that points at that WrestleMania sign before it's over, before the match is ended, never wins.
No, that's his only chance to point, so he does it then.
Right. It's like a secret. They almost think they figured out a secret code. So as soon as somebody points to the WrestleMania sign,
eliminated.
There's 2 guys left. They're like, he's gone.
Eliminated.
And it happened this year. So like whoever was fighting Rhodes, we knew. We said Rhodes is going to win.
It's like being like the third party running for president. We know you don't have a chance. I don't know why you're here. Third parties don't get to celebrate, bro. That's your peak moment right there.
Zeke with Jets roster to spell and give Brees the occasional breather would work. Let's not forget Izzy Abawakanandra was the youngest player drafted last year.
He wrote abracadabra.
He's only 20. He wrote abracadabra. Izzy Abracadabra was the youngest player drafted last season. He's only 20. He should be better. Good. Yeah, he has a lot of growing to do. Dude, he's just a kid from Brooklyn. He looked like one of my former students. He's just a kid.
I've never met anyone from still. Listen, I'm 45 years old, 45 and a half if you want to get technical, right? I've never met anyone from Brooklyn I've liked.
Except this kid.
What? You broke up. I couldn't hear you. Bad audio.
I'm from Brooklyn, you idiot.
I never noticed.
Johnny, can you tell Johnny the truth? Tell him he doesn't know.
I think he just signed. I think I got an alert. I think he signed. I think he just signed with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and do you think that the pick, obviously this is an obvious answer. They say best possible player, best available player, but that definitely goes out the window once you start drafting, because we know that whoever we pick at 10, or if we trade down, whoever the pick is with our first pick, we know that greatly changes who we're going to pick with the next pick. Like, we know that.
He's he got brought back to the Chiefs, guys.
Oh, like, we know that we're not going to take, let's say the Jets, said, and the Jets take Fuaga. We trade down to 13 or 12 with Denver, and then we take Fuaga. Let's just say it happened. Then they gave us another third-round pick, whatever. We get to our first third-round pick. We know we're not taking freaking Patrick Paul. We know we're not taking another tackle. Right? Like, we know it's going to, now it's going to be either it's going to be a weapon or it's going to be defensive tackle. But, like, so there's no way that anybody can convince me that best player available is, like, the complete strategy for an entire draft. No one drafts like that.
I think in the first round, when you, and let's be real, to have the number 10 pick with a roster as full as ours is a luxury. You normally don't see teams with the roster of the quality that we have right now drafting this high. Mm-hmm. So we could just take the best available player, no matter what position it is. You look at, let's go through all positions, right? I'll start with the least likely. Defensive line. There's the defensive line. Yeah. Solomon Thomas is a 1-year deal. I think Fotu is a 1-year deal. JFM could be gone after this year. Reddick could be gone after this year. Half of our line could be gone again after this season. So you can't, maybe they view that and say, listen, if we're going to keep bringing in value here, high value, immediate guys who can play, maybe they view that as something that they can do, the way they dress the offensive line since they brought in Mike Williams. You look at wide receiver could be in play because you can get a third now with Williams and Garrett. And now Mike Williams, 1-year deal, right? Lazard, gone after next year. Sal already said it. We got him for another year and a half. He told you Lazard will not be here for the 2025 season.
That was a slip.
I think that is, hey, tighten the fuck up. Writing's on the wall, bro. You got to change your narrative. I'm going to reference a corny movie, Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. Change your stars. He's got to go out and change his stars. Anyone gets that? That's my favorite bad movie of all time is Knight's Tale. Bowers. I don't know. I just think it's a bad movie. It's my favorite bad movie. Like, if that's on, I will stop whatever I'm doing and I will watch that movie from wherever I've watched it till the end.
I've watched it at least 50 times.
More. I will never change the channel. I will stop plans. I will not go eat dinner. I will miss a show. I will anything but a Jet game. If Knight's Tale is on, I'm watching it.
In what world are you better than me?
And you are the announcer who gets up, ladies and gentlemen. Totally you.
Of course, my favorite character. And he needed to kill time, and he was like, they needed to kill time, and he goes, wait a second, I haven't done my introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, the schnozzer of snoring. That was the only, you know what, that movie, that's in like a category of movies like 10 Things I Hate About You. Like, there's these certain movies that are like, they're bad movies, but you love them and you can't stop watching them. So they get on your list. They're like, where you're like, I don't care. I love the movie. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm going to watch this a million times. Flash Gordon in the 80s. The Flash Gordon movie.
A little before my time. I know Flash Gordon and became a fan because of the movie Ted.
Okay. The Last Dragon, like with Bruce Leroy and Sho'nuff. I mean, you can't play that movie and have me turn the channel. Like if that
Like,
movie's on, I'm done. I'm
For
watching
me,
it.
Teen Wolf.
Oh,
Both
geez.
Teen Wolves. I don't care what anyone says.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone tries to shit on Teen Wolf 2, I'm fighting you.
You're
fighting you.
You're the teammate, the fat guy.
I am not. I
In
am
basketball,
not.
you're the fat guy.
No,
I love that
I'm the basketball player, dude. I was a basketball
I
player.
love that they took that guy with them in Team 2. Like that was the
Yes,
guy. In
everyone was the same, but
They took
nobody
that.
else was the same. There was no booth, nothing like that. And all of a sudden, the fat guy.
They took the fat guy. That was great.
Because the 80s, it was either John Candy or that guy. That was all you had for the fat guy in the movies in the 80s. That was before they pumped all the sugar into our foods, and now everyone's fat.
Yeah.
And now it's Jonah Hill. He's fat, he's thin. He's fat, he's thin. That guy just stayed fat for a whole decade.
Who's the master?
All right. So back to the weapon. Tight end. You could see it being Bowers, right? Like, I could see it being Bowers. I'm not calling for it, but I'm not going to be shocked if it's Bowers.
If he took Bowers at 10, my initial feeling would be, my comparison would be when he took Sauce Gardner. It's the same kind of thing. A lot of the fan base thinks we're strong in that position, that we don't need a tight end, just like they thought at cornerback, right? The difference is nobody put Sauce Gardner down as a player because of it. Like everybody said, yeah, he's a great player, but we don't need a cornerback. Whereas with Bowers, for some reason, people are deciding he stinks. He's not a good player. He can't block. Like people are attacking him. But still, the reality is the biggest argument is we don't need a tight end. So to me, it would be a very similar pick. And it would be similar to the McDonald pick. It would be like the third time he's picked a guy that surprised the fan base because we thought it would be the third time he's done it, that he surprised the fan base.
Yeah. And obviously, if he drafts offensive line, I'm not an offensive line.
That's not a
guy.
surprise, though.
It's not a surprise. Like, I'm not going to be upset. Last year, there's video to prove it. I was doing a live stream with Italy Jet, and I sat there quietly for about 15 seconds before I said anything. I'm like, huh. And I sat there and I was like, all right, well, I'm a proud New York Jet fan. I got to say something positive.
Mm-hmm.
I love McDonald's. I'll just say that was the first thing I thought when I heard Will McDonald. I'm like, all right, I love McDonald's. Well, that's all I really had. Like, I'm like, okay, Huff could be gone, Lawson could be gone. Like when like the dust started to settle from the Will McDonald nuke that got dropped on us, the logic started setting in. And now a year later, Lawson's gone, Huff is gone, and now Will McDonald could be going into a bigger role. So if you get an offensive lineman, okay, you could justify it. You get Bowers, you can justify it. You might not like it, guys, but you could justify it. DJ Reed was better at cornerback than Tyler Conklin is at tight end. And Joe Douglas, like you said, Jer, still drafted Sauce Gardner because they saw this guy can be better than okay. We didn't want that room to be okay. We went and got the guy who could be on a trajectory to be the best cornerback of all time. 2 All-Pros in his first 2 seasons. The trajectory can be talked about and discussed. That Sauce stays healthy in this career, he could be one of the best of all time.
I think that if JD was to pick Bowers, let's say, Jets come up to the podium number 10, we're all, some of us are hoping for a trade. Nope, it's not going to happen. We made a pick. Pick is in. That's it. We're all screaming who it is. Everyone's yelling their heads off. If the pick came in for Bowers, to me, what that means is the exact explanation is very simply, just like with Sauce Gardner, he believes, just like Will McDonald, he believes that Bowers, he's on the side of, he believes he's incredibly special and he's going to be a very special player, and he's the best player on his board, and he's going to change the team and have the biggest impact on the team. That's what it means. It doesn't mean he's right or, like, I know it pisses people off, but if they take Bowers, that's what it means. It means JD believes it. JD and the scouts, our organization, believes that it's for real, that this guy is going to be very special.
I agree.
I
And-
trust them. If they make that decision, forget about any of the film I looked at. I trust them. They're better at evaluating talent than I am.
Yeah. Agreed. And when you look at it, I see Nah brought up Elijah Moore. We had Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore looked promising. Oh, we went and drafted Garrett Wilson at 10. We made it better. Now, those two were supposed to be together, and we know what happened. But those two were going to be a tandem. Reed and Sauce, tandem. Let me add this. Let me throw this twist into this for everybody. Say this season is a failure. Say this season doesn't work out. Say this season everyone gets fired. What's one thing the New York Jets have never really had? An elite offensive-minded head coach. You could say Parcells back in the day. What's that? Aaron Rodgers still wants to play. You have Breece Hall in the backfield. You have Garrett Wilson. You have Brock Bowers. You got Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of potential at all four main spots. That could be something interesting.
What happened is every organization makes bad picks, especially a quarterback. More than 50% of the quarterback, more than half the quarterbacks bust. That's what happened.
That's what she said.
I didn't say that they're the perfect organization for drafting players. I said they're better than me. So, and then Knobcraft, who said Becton was great. They were right about Becton. His first year. It
wasn't great.
Okay, he was very good.
He looked promising. That's how I'll classify.
Nobody was saying it was a mistake then. Nobody was complaining in the middle of that season.
No, he was when he got his hands on you. He won in the run game.
Right.
The issue was speed and agility, guys, and it still is flawed 4 years in.
It just all went to shit afterwards, and it ended up being a mistake. But it's not the kind of mistake where you draft a guy like Neil Smith. And it's like, what the hell happened? Right? It's not like when you draft whoever we drafted, the wide receiver a few years ago, Baker, or what's his name, in the second round. Like, I mean, when a guy, Vernon Golston, 0 sacks in his career. I mean, there were guys where you totally missed. Becton isn't at that level. Because for a while he was showing the promise, and then it went to crap for whatever reason. So,
I think Becton falls into the same category as Corey Davis. I think there's a portion of our fan base that wanted him to be great and always hung on to that. We live in a day and era where people become so infatuated with receipts being kept that they want to die on a hill over an argument. It's okay to change your stance on something. I hated Jeremy the minute I met him, and I've warmed up to him a little bit. So over the course of time, it's okay to change how you feel about certain things. You know, why
is Dano screaming at us?
I have to draft. How can any fan claim to know who we have to draft when they've seen nothing but tape? There's so much more to it. Interviews, actually meeting the guy. 100%. That's what makes it fun, projecting it. It's all conversation and projection.
Yeah, but he's talking about
here.
He's talking about the people that like insist and say you have to draft this guy here, and it's like, well, I mean, I get his point. Well, no, you really don't have to, because they got to meet these guys and we didn't. Some of these guys, there are teams that have paid a big price because they don't care about the character. Right. I mean, we see the Raiders have lost so many players because they don't seem to care about who the person is. I mean, sometimes you have no idea. They put on a good act. I mean, an interview doesn't show you everything. But like, if you look at some of the guys that have played in this league, like Aaron Hernandez, do you see the videos that are going out on him now? There are people showing clips of him in the locker room. Like Aaron Hernandez was blatantly bad news.
Yeah.
Way before they found out like what he did. Like they have clips of him in the locker room goofing around and ignoring Belichick and doing messed up things on the field. Like it's all over Twitter, and it's like, holy cow.
He was a complete scumbag. Like,
yeah. So
the only selfless thing he ever did was kill himself so his daughter could get that money.
Yeah.
That's the only selfless thing that guy ever did. Or he knew something about the Clintons. Either way, because you know how that happens in prison. I had to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Sometimes the real me comes out. Forgive me. Wait, Dano, wait, he's dead. Are you serious about Aaron Hernandez?
What do you mean?
I don't know. He wrote, wait, he's dead?
Oh,
Never
you didn't
mind.
know? You didn't know that Aaron Hernandez
Aaron
was dead?
Hernandez babysat me. What do you? I'm lost.
Get out of here. He did not. Your parents.
No, I didn't get rid of your background. If you could resend that to me, because I switched StreamYards, and when I switched StreamYards and I used Jeremy's now, I didn't have that there for me. I'm using my StreamYard in Jeremy's account, if that makes sense. But I lost access to that photo.
And I don't have a green screen.
Wait a
anymore.
minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. And I'm going to do this because it's you, and this is how we roll in our friendship. Where the fuck have you been in the chat? And you're going to call out loyalty? I've seen my toe more recently than I've seen you in the chat, and you're calling me out, bro?
Yeah, if everybody that supports our channels was like you, we would have been a graveyard for the past 3 months.
There'd be tumbleweed rolling through the field back here.
He goes, haha, I got you.
I love you, buddy. I do love the picture, too.
I really hope that we have a kick-ass OL. Because if our OL, because I was willing to settle for average because they've never been a group together. But if our offensive line was top 10 and kicked ass, then that fixes everything as long as A-Rod is healthy. That fixes everything. That means we're going to be like Green Bay was. We're going to be scoring touchdowns galore. And with our defense constantly getting us good field position, are you kidding me? You're not going to recognize this team. We're not going to know how to act even. Because if this offensive line crushes it, we are going to be a machine. Yeah. We're going to be scoring 40 points every game. It's going to be out of control.
Let's paint a picture, right? It's not April Fool's Day. That's over. Let's paint a positive picture, because there's so much doom and gloom being a Jet fan, and rightfully so. We've had some horrific things happen to us on, off the field, during plays. Doug Bryan in Pittsburgh, not stopping the run on the first 19 plays against Pittsburgh again. My stomach just turned. But let's paint a good picture here. The New York Jets are a top 5 scoring offense, averaging 28.7 points a game. The New York Jets defense are a top 5 scoring defense, giving up 18.2 points a game. Aaron Rodgers is averaging 240 a game. Breece Hall is averaging about 100 yards on the ground a game and maybe about 40 or 50 catching. I don't know what those numbers work out to, but they sound well over 2,000. The defense, turnovers, opportunistic. Zerline doesn't miss a field goal. Morstead, when he has to punt, he has to read a book on how do I punt because it's been so long in between kicks. Is driving them, knocking them deep. Defense gets a short field, sack, turnover, fumble, touchdown. Defense is scoring points. Robert Saleh is being held off the field. And no one's complaining. We're happy. We start off 7-1. We win some big road games. We beat the 49ers in San Francisco on Sunday Night Football, and the whole league says, holy shit, the Jets are for real. Let's just envision that, because the chance of it happening probably won't. It's Jets. But let's, for today, enjoy that moment. Now, I have a question for you, Mr. Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, McDonald's for dinner?
Yeah, well, there's a whole crazy thing to
What'd
this.
you do?
Okay. So, Jocelyn had a client at 4 p.m., right? And she says to me, she's a therapist, and she's online therapy. So that means she goes into the back office. So she says to me, walk the dog. So what I figure is she's stuck in the back office. She's not seeing anything, right? She's like,
not
busy.
both dogs?
Well, the other dog, we walk one at a time because they're learning. They can't learn together; they're too distracted.
Okay. All right.
So it's his turn.
Okay.
So what I do is I take him out, and I take him and I put him in the car, and I get in the car, and I drive.
Wait. Can let me interject here. You got told to take the dog for the walk, but you put the dog into the car
to take him to and went to McDonald's because I figure if I get McDonald's, I can come back to the house, and she's stuck with a client. So then I can get up the stairs. Once I'm in my studio, I eat up here, right? I got the I got McDonald's cups. I got empty ones from the past. That I have to hide. Like I have to throw these out when she's not around. So
I like that you leave it out in the open, though.
She never comes in here. So
I got to break this story down. All right, give me more.
So I go to the McDonald's. I get the food, right? I come back home. I'm nervous that, sometimes her client can't, like, she better not be in the living room. But anyway, I go into the door. I let the dog go. Get out of here. Go. Run into the house, right? I get into the house, and then I very quietly, because I don't want to make noise with the bag. She hears everything. She's got, like, freaking crazy fucking hearing. So I, very quietly hold the bag and the drink so the bag's not rattling. And I go all the way through the house, up the stairs. I'm in the studio. I made it, right? So I scarf down my food. Yeah, beat McDonald's. I made it. I'm safe. I'm drinking the Coke. 5 o'clock comes. She's done with her client. I got an hour before the show starts. So I go downstairs. I'm laying on the couch. She says to me, "What are we doing for dinner?" So I'm like, "Well, I don't worry about dinner until after the show." So I said, "In a couple hours, we'll figure it out. We'll get some dinner." And she says,
"Lying through your teeth."
Well, yeah,
because you just ate lying through your teeth.
"How was the dog? How was the walk with the dog?" And I said, "Yeah, we went around town. We went around the town." Well, we kind of did. I just didn't say it was in a car. She goes, "How did he do?" I said, "He did really well. He was very well behaved." He was. He didn't do anything bad in the car. So she's like, it's quiet for about a minute, and I know I'm busted. Because she just asked about dinner. She asked how the dog was, and I'm like, I just know that I'm busted. Because one thing I know is that I will not shut off Find My Friends. I will not shut off location services. Because I know
you share your location with her on your phone.
But I know, and I know she's done it in the past. I know she's she's like a phone geek. She doesn't stay out of her phone, so I know that that's something she might do. But I make a calculated risk. I said, "Look, if I get caught sneaking McDonald's, I get caught. But I'm not shutting my location services off, because if she searches for my location and it's shut off, she's gonna have a chef's knife when I get into the house.
You can't do that
because she's gonna think that
no guy. If you share your location with your wife, you can never shut it off.
You can never shut it off.
You could be at church. In their brains, you're cheating.
Okay, so Johnny might have to call in a second, but that's beside the point. So anyway, she like I know I'm busted, and then here it comes. She says, "How come you didn't get me fries or a shake?" I said, "What?" And she goes, "When you went to McDonald's." And I said, "Oh, you looked to Find My Friends?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, I figured that might happen." I said, "Man, you're with a client.
I figured that might happen."
Yeah, but you're with your clients. I took the risk because you're with your clients. She said, "You didn't wait long enough. I was still waiting for my client. You got in that car so fast and drove away. I heard you." She goes, "You didn't even wait." And then she goes, "So of course I went out to Find My Friends to see where you were going." And she goes, and it was like, she goes, "I could see halfway there. She could tell I was going there."
She's tracked you before. She knows the route.
She knew. She said, "Look, he's heading right to McDonald's." And so she goes, "Why didn't you tell me? You could have got me fries or something?" And I, like, "Why do you do this? Why do you sneak behind my back?" And I told her, "I'm ashamed. I said, like, I'm ashamed that you're gonna find out that I sneaked to McDonald's, and I'm afraid that when you talk to me, like if I tell you, I can't tell you because you're gonna talk me out of it, and then I'm not gonna get.
You're
my
not
phone.
even smart enough to like accidentally leave your phone at home.
Yeah, but then I can't use my app to get the deals. Yeah,
I
need
think paying the extra $1 for a fucking fry is worth not lying to your wife. And here, wait, can I break this down?
Yeah.
All right. Did the dog ever go for a walk besides from the front door to the car?
No, the dog didn't get away.
Right, so you didn't. The fact that she hasn't come through that flag behind you with a machete is amazing. She's a saint. Okay. Then you come back home, never took the dog for a walk. Now you walk through the house with a bag of food, and if anyone, I figure everyone here in the chat has had McDonald's, there's a certain aroma a McDonald's has. It doesn't smell like fresh air in Sacramento on the dog. Then when you get called out on it, you layered it with about 7-8 lies before you finally just gave in. And the only reason you gave in, that's such a good thing. Jeremy got Mick busted. Forget the McRib. Jeremy is the spokesperson for Mick busted. That's so good. My face hurts right now. My face hurts.
The dog gets
the poor dog. The poor dog had to sit in the car. Did you give the dog a fry or anything?
I didn't get fries.
What did you get?
I got a triple cheeseburger and a double cheeseburger.
And you got no fries?
No,
Hold on. We got unnecessary stupidity, 15 yards.
There's reasons for it. There's reasons for it. Because when I do it in secret, I have to eat up here in the studio, and there's no place to wash my hands. The grease will get on the keyboard, and then she's going to know because it's all smudged, the keyboard and the computer, when I give her back to her, and she's going to know. Like,
so your dumbass has learned from past failures, I can't get fries because I'll get busted.
Because
but
she always says, she looks one at the keyboard, and she goes, "What the fuck did you eat?" Because she sees like the smudges of oil and everything.
Little salt, the pieces of salt fall off the fry. They're everywhere. I know. I've been there.
In defense of the dog, we have another dog. There's a nice size house with a backyard. They run through the house. They run around the backyard. The only reason we walk the dog, or she wants me walking the dog, is we just have them trained. So she wants to keep up the training of teaching him to walk right. The dog gets plenty of exercise and all that stuff.
For now on, whenever you say to the dog, you want to go for a walk, it's going to go hop in the backseat of the car.
You know what?
Let me give you my.
It's not fair, though. He was my accomplice. I should have gotten him a fries.
You wasn't an accomplice. You dragged him to the scene of the crime. You had him on a leash. You literally brought him with you. What are you talking about? He wasn't an accomplice. When you said you want to go for the walk, the dog didn't go, "Ooh, McDouble." Ooh. It's not what happened. Don't blame the dog for any of this. You
I know. No. I need to. I should have gotten some chicken nuggets, or I should have gotten something for the dog.
Can I tell you my tip?
That's fucked up.
You order the McDouble bundle, and then you get the small fry, and you eat the small fry on the ride home.
Okay, but I do want. You're right. I could have done that. I did give the dog lots of treats afterwards before I knew I was.
So you didn't even walk him, and you made him fatter. This is the worst thing for the dog.
No, but I felt guilty.
That's so good.
I said, "You were so good, Klecko. Klecko, you were so good." And I pulled out like a handful of treats and gave it to him.
Awesome. But, we got another super chat coming in from Small Heath Court Jetster again.
There was another one before too that I missed, maybe. So
no, I think this is it. I paused it in the chat when I saw this pop in during the story. Okay. Thank you again for another super chat, man. You're awesome. He asks, Neighbor or Odunze? I think Neighbors is a game changer.
Yeah, I have Neighbors. Okay.
I got to piss. Let me piss.
Okay. Go ahead. Because of my story?
I think Neighbors is a Garrett Wilson-esque type of player, and that gets me excited. Mm-hmm. Now, having Odunze complement neighbor or Wilson and learn from Mike Williams and be that bigger physical guy potentially, I don't think you can miss on either one of these top 3 wide receivers. I hope that we make a move and get one of them. If I had to choose right now, I would choose Neighbors. And Jeremy knows the first mock draft we did in late December or January, I said Odunze. I wanted him, but the more I've seen on Neighbors, the more I like. I got to catch up with this chat because I stopped the pause on that. But that's who I would take. I'll be right back.
I will definitely, I'll definitely pregame at Wendy's with you, bro. Let's talk about that. I totally will. I always get the wrong thing at Wendy's. I'm just gonna get the freaking pretzel bun baconator one. That's got to be good, right? I always screw up my order there and end up getting something I regret. I like Neighbors better than Odunze, but not by a ton. I think I'm not one of these lunatics that's going to be so insistent that I'm gonna like I'm gonna pretend I know for a fact he's gonna be better. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Neighbors. Neighbors makes to me feels like a Jamal Chase. That's what he feels like. He feels like that's the kind of home run I think he is, or like an easy, sure thing. Like when Jamal Chase was drafted, I knew he was going to be really good, and he was. And that's how I feel about Neighbors. I feel like it's that guaranteed. It's like he's going to be like Garrett Wilson, Jamal Chase, like Justin Jefferson, like somewhere in that company. I don't know who better than who. I don't even like to compare those guys against each other because they're all in different situations, right? Different offensive line, different quarterback. The point is that level of guy. Odunze is a little bit different. He's that different style. It's more like, will he be like, what's his name? The guy from Tampa that we just missed, that we wanted, Williams? Evans. Like, he's a different style of wide receiver, but still, I think he could be a very impactful wide receiver, like a very good, impactful wide receiver. So I wouldn't be angry if we got a Odunze. I would be just as hopeful that we got a future guy, but I just feel a little bit more confidence that in Neighbors. I think he's more of a better percentage that he's going to hit. What's so funny?
I'm catching up on the chat with all the comments from the story.
Oh wow! Look at that. And he loves the Farah Pizza Tavern in Cary. I know he's told me in the past that he likes it. My niece actually went there with her boyfriend for the first time, and they loved it as well. So, yeah, DeFara Pizza Tavern. It's like a cousin of the original guy. So they're family members, and they went down there and opened up a DeFara. So. I don't know. I think they literally have a machine. They have a machine that makes the water. You're sitting here entertaining yourself, reading the chat.
Rick, epic. This is like a tutorial on how not to get away with something.
So basically, what Snowball is saying, instead of taking the Uber or having my friend drop me off at the main event, I should have them take me to Wendy's an hour ahead of time and do a pregame and eat Wendy's before I go to the draft party. And I'll do it. I'll get some.
No, you won't. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to? No, you won't eat fast food an hour before a free food event.
So wait a second. Johnny Jimenez, does he really have real news that he wants to share? And he wants to call in? Johnny, let me know in the chat. Is there something real that you want to tell us about? That's significant.
I think Johnny has like a streak of how many consecutive shows he can call into, and I think he just tries to get on the show to say, I got on another show.
He and Dana are like freaking.
Like Johnny reminds me of Steve Buscemi's role in Billy Madison, where he has like a list behind him on the wall, and every time he calls into a show, he crosses the list off. So
I can't believe this. Wait till those guys find out, because I think this is going to happen. Wait till those guys find out that I'm arranging Snowball started it, but that I'm participating in a freaking Wendy's pregame before the draft party. Do you know how funny that's going to be to them? They're going to say, hey, where's Chaos? He's at the Wendy's across the street.
All right. I'm going to say this with you there. I don't even care. Anybody who's attending the Talking Jets event, this is what I need. I need videos of every time Jeremy eats. I need a video of him online looking for what he's going to eat next. And I'm going to have someone put a video compilation together of it. Like, the Jets are on the clock. There's Jeremy at the buffet. Jets make their pick. We edited Jeremy eating. Like, just make it look like he was totally disinterested in everything Jets. Like, it'll be a good video. So get video of Jeremy and send it to me. If he talks football, I don't want that video. I want eating and in line, like, debating what to get. And the manager coming out and be like, you go now. You'll be here 4 hours.
He said something about a place called Strange Stars. The problem is the Strange Stars is probably going to end up being a much nicer place to meet up and hang out. The problem is it's not as funny. Like, I want to see Green Bean's face when he goes, where's Jets Chaos? And say he met a bunch of the guys there at Wendy's. that to me is the what the hell is Strange Stars? It looks like a grand opening. It was July.
Is that a strip club?
I don't see any menus. Oh no, it's a freaking weed dispensary.
Oh.
It's a weed dispensary. That's great. I looked it up. Anybody, for those of you who want to know what the hell we're talking about, we're talking about the draft party in Farmingdale with Talking Jets. Green Bean will be there. Ryan will be there. Matt O'Leary will be there. I'll be there. Nick is going to be leading the charge, most likely at MetLife Stadium. For those of you who can't make it out to Long Island, so hopefully we'll have a meetup there with the proud Jets fans. People, I wish I could be in both places at the same time, bro.
Oh, we got Gossip Nightclub, Tricks Cabaret, Mirage Gentlemen's Club. All right, maybe I'll come out to Long Island. Yeah. Anyone who's going to be in New Jersey and unable to or unwilling to make the trip out to Long Island, I'm going to have a Proud New York Jet fan meetup. If you're on Facebook, search Proud New York Jets fans. Join the Facebook group there. You can join my YouTube channel. We have a Discord that we set up for the memberships. If you would be so kind as maybe to consider joining that. We have a private chat in there now for the members of the channel. I tried to put my link in before. What did you do? Remove me from moderator? I don't have the wrench in my comments anymore.
No.
I tried to post my link earlier, and I don't have the wrench anymore in the chat.
I have no idea, Putch. That doesn't make any sense.
You get moody, though. Sometimes you'd be like, fuck Nick. I wouldn't make it up.
Hold on, I'll fix it.
Damn right you will. I feel like now we're in like a divorce moderation. Subscriptions, Jets Chaos, bloop, boop, paste.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. I want to appreciate something. I want to appreciate the people on Twitter that are finding me and watching the show on Twitter that are going to the YouTube channel and subscribing. I really appreciate that. I don't want to be too greedy, but I'd really appreciate it if you could extend that courtesy and go to Proud New York Jet Fan and subscribe there as well to Nick's channel.
Thank you.
So, but I really appreciate the people who are doing that. I've noticed that the channel is gaining subs ever since I started pushing the show out, to the Twitter people. And I appreciate them coming over to YouTube and just hitting the sub button. Even if you're watching on Twitter, if you want to take the moment to do that at any point after the show, during the show, and just give me the follow, even though you prefer Twitter, it really helps the YouTube algorithm. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And I'll be streaming tomorrow right after Green Bean's over. he does the Thursday Thick of It from 8 to 10. Once that show ends, I do the Thursday Night Throwdown. It's a debate show in hour 1 and a call-in show for hour 2. And yeah, I got Jets Guru coming on with me tomorrow night, and we'll have a fun discussion, and then I'll open it up to you lunatics in hour 2. I say that with love, what's this? Yeah,
What the hell's going on, man?
me
I'm
neither.
I'm looking to see what's going on.
But
I'll fix it. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I gotta say, real quick, I know we talked movies before. I watched the new Roadhouse today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of like corny. I hated the speed up the action to make it look better. I thought it looked too CGI and fake. Like, I know some people are raving about it and some people hate it. I'm in the middle. Like, I think I might have to watch it again, but I just thought
I
I don't get the hype about it.
I just don't understand remaking the movie. It was so
What they
good.
do now,
the way
I can't think of anything new.
I was so good the way it was. What they need to remake Roadhouse, and not only that, but it was one of the bad movies that we were talking about before that I can't stop watching. It wasn't even a good movie. It was a great cult movie. Like, it was a great bad movie, but it wasn't like Star Wars or Superman 2, or like, it wasn't one of these best-selling famous movies. It was freaking Roadhouse. Like, why would they remake Roadhouse? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then it was so different. It was so different. They didn't need to call it Roadhouse and make it a remake. They could have just said, they could have called it anything. They could have called it Roadhouse. They could have even said Roadhouse 20, the next generation. Like anything. But like, why try to make it like a remake? That just annoys the hell out of me.
I agree. I didn't. The way people talked about it, I thought it was going to be better. And Conor McGregor just looks weird. He looked like he was like CGI'd. Like, his head is fine. I know he did steroids to get back from the leg injury. You could do steroids when you're not like coming up for a fight, but he looked like it was CGI animation, not like an actual person. Looks stupid. And I'm not a fan of his, so maybe that's what turned me off, is his big role. Not that I was turned on before him.
You're not a fan of him because you're a weirdo that doesn't love Star Wars.
I don't like Star Wars. I don't like any sci-fi. I like Marvel and Batman will be as far as I go with that.
How do you not like Star Wars, though, dude?
I don't know. I didn't find it interesting. I guess when I was a kid, I thought it was like the coolest thing I ever saw. But then as I started to get older, I was just like, oh, boobs are much cooler.
Like, you didn't find it interesting when the
No.
when the Emperor said that, I'm afraid the force field will be quite operational when your friends survive. Like, you
I
didn't
don't even
love
know
that?
what that is.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is. I watched the original 3, which was not the original 3, whatever they tried to do in the fucking 90s just to make more money off of you suckers. Which you all got in line for. Like, people who watch Star Wars and go and give all their money and buy the toys are like the people at a strip club who think that the girl talks to them because she actually likes them. Here, take the money. Here, what? You're making more movies? What? This is episodes 1, 2, and 3? Oh, what? There's a 7, 8, and 9? Bankrupt, divorce, who cares? I just don't get into. I've seen the Terminator. I've seen the Terminator, but I don't know. I've never been a sci-fi guy. I've always been more of like a drama, action, comedy, like movie person. That's me. I get why people like it. Like, I've enjoyed the Iron Man movies, some of the Marvel movies, Captain America. I like I get some of it, but I just feel now I'd rather watch a well-acted movie than just guys stand in front of a green screen for 2.5 hours. That's just my taste.
I mean, look, it's like, I love movies for different reasons. So I understand. Like, I'm not against movies that are you could have put no money into the movie and it could still be a great movie because like what was the I'm forgetting the name of the movie. There was a movie with this girl and guy that are just walking around Paris all night and it's just dialogue and it's an amazing movie.
Oh, Taken?
No, shut up. Again, I'm trying to fix something on my channel.
Wait a minute. Ablab is here, and Ablab has a comment. They remade Good Times? Like the sitcom? No, they rebooted Good Times? Ablab, I'm usually very happy to see when you comment in the chat, and right now I'm heartbroken. I don't even want to pay this. Now I gotta damn you, Ablab. You ruined my night because now not only do I have to Google this, now I have to find someone with a Netflix account who will let me have their password to watch this because that's the one thing I don't have. I faded out of Netflix for a bit. I have Peacock, I have Paramount Plus, I have Max. What's the other one I have? Oh, YouTube. Wait a minute. Ablab, come on, man. I can't deal with this negativity in life. Good Times Original Cast. Reacts.
Oh my god.
All right, let's see the cast. All right. Sorry, guys. I loved Good Times as a kid, even as an adult. JB Smoove, Jay Farrow. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. All right. Okay. All right. At least you followed up with that. All right, Ablab. You won me back. I was shocked when I first saw that.
Ablab is the greatest human being alive. I love him.
Get back to me when they remake Fast Times at Richmond High. Ablab, thank you, bro. We got super chat from Ablab. It says, "Don't do it." Thank you. That's awesome of you to contribute like that to the show. What are you searching?
I'm trying to figure out why you're not a moderator. So I was trying to find
Go in YouTube. Go in YouTube.
I was just trying to find the moderator list. That's all. You know,
just go into. I'll comment on YouTube.
Right, that's what I mean. Comment
click
so
on
I
my
can
comment and just hit it.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh my god! Thanks for the super chat, bro. What are you kidding me?
Welcome back. Oops, there goes Jeremy. Back to reality.
Jeez. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I love that Ablab just did an advertisement not to watch a show. Normally, people pay for advertising to get views. Ablab was like, I'm reversing the script here. I'm going to pay people not to watch this show.
I love Ablab, man. You're super generous, such good supporter of the channel. Appreciate you so much, man. For real.
That's awesome.
That's really awesome.
I love the don't do it.
So say something in the chat so I can freaking.
All right, hold on.
Ablab story. So don't do it. You could have made a better, like you could have said anything you wanted. Just don't do it. But Ablab knows I'll highlight any comment he makes. He doesn't have to even give me a super chat. So, but thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to our.
Fair. I put a comment.
Looking forward to the season. I know that Ablab watches the games with me and Green Bean, so I'm looking forward to watching the games with him again, man. I miss it. So, wait a second.
I put a comment. Ablab is cool. Jeremy is not.
No. But freaking Dano freaking timed you out or something.
What?
Dano did something to you. It says, "Proud New York Jets fan was timed out by Dano for 10 seconds."
Stop being a dick.
That's fucking.
No, now we have to. I hate you guys. I hate all of you.
They all.
Is that why? Are they like? Oh. Wait till these motherfuckers all try to call in on tomorrow night's show. Wait till they try. I'll tell you right now, Dane, I will have the lady on the show before I ever have you on the show again.
Just put something in the chat, like a few letters, one at a time or something, so I can get you before they do.
Why don't you just remove Dane's moderator?
I know I'm gonna take away his moderator shit. I'm gonna take away his power.
Here we go. Did you get one?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
You're good.
I tried to type dickhead, but I accidentally hit the
Look, he doesn't want to lose his wrench. I'm telling you, once you have a wrench, man, you don't want to lose that wrench. People get very addicted to having that wrench. You know what I mean? People want that wrench, man, once they get it. I don't like being on shows now. I'm like in the chat for people's shows where I don't have a wrench. Like, I'm like, well, if I don't have a wrench, I don't know if I want to be here. Someone might offend me and I can't take action. I like being able to take action if somebody offends me. I'll explain it. I'll say, hello, Mr. Content Provider, especially if it's a jet guy that knows me. I'll say, as you know, we have a lot of haters out there that like to say mean, nasty things. People like to make fun of my shiny head. They like to make fun of me for being bald. I would like the power to freaking give them timeouts. What's a wrench? Everybody wants to know what a wrench is.
Boomtown's from Canada. They might not have tools up there. We have tools down here like Johnny, Knob, and Dane. Those are our tools.
See, sometimes when you're here long enough, and Boomtown, you've been around, so you keep it up. If you want, what happens is you earn trust, and once we trust a very, like a usual, what should we call, like a regular. Once you become like a Cliff Clavin or a Norm, and you're like a regular for the channel, we give you the power to give people timeouts or block them from the channel in case trolls come in or in case, people come in and start cursing people or they start misbehaving. But I have to get to know each person before I give it that away, because what you don't want is somebody getting carried away, getting into arguments with people and blocking them for their own personal reasons. It has to be because the person doesn't, lost the privilege of being able to be in the chat because they're being mean to people or something.
There we go. I got my wrench. For
explain that
anybody
right?
who's new tonight, I now posted the link and is now visible to all of you distinguished gentlemen and the ladies. Be so kind as to go subscribe to my channel as well as Jeremy's if you haven't already.
Yeah.
We are here to make you people smile. It's the Pride and Chaos show. I am proud New York Jet fan. He is Jets Chaos. Boomtown, I love the honesty, though. Don't give me a wrench. Or no, who said that? John. One of them said, don't give me a wrench.
Oh, my God. Johnny doesn't have one. But Johnny's been one of the best supporters of the channel, but he has not been around a long time.
But Johnny is an on-air personality. Johnny doesn't need a wrench in the chat. Johnny comes on so much and on all the shows. He doesn't need to be on air and control the chat. We need him focused on his appearances and what hat he's going to wear. He doesn't have to worry about the chat. Excuse me, hiccup. He doesn't have to worry about the chat. He has to worry about the hat.
Who's Assist My Suicide? Why is he ranting on about Reddick? What's up with people spreading that bogus Reddick story? Is someone spreading a bogus
story
Reddick
that
story?
came out today was the Eagles moved on from Reddick because he was chasing sacks, and Connor Hughes retweeted it and it's like, I've just confirmed with the Jets they're okay with him chasing sacks. But more of the story came out and he addressed it, and he said that he didn't want to play in Philly on his last year of the contract, and with the salary cap tightness that they have, they moved him instead. But
yeah, look,
some guys do that. Their bonuses are based off of sacks. Like receivers want touchdowns, right? Running backs want yardage. Bobo, my man, what's up?
I heard everything that guy has said since he joined the team. He has been respectful to the Eagles and said the right things. He's been great about the Jets. He didn't take any of the cheap shots that people take for their former team. He has shown nothing but class and high character. When they said, "How do you feel about the Eagles moving on?" He said, "It's a business. You only have a certain amount of resources. They did what they had to do. I'm happy where I am in this opportunity." Like, he said all the right things. He's been great to the fans. He said it out of the video telling the fans, "I'm going to play hard for everybody." Like, I am not going to be brought down about Hassan Reddick. He's been a class act. So it's all good.
I'm excited. He's a player that I didn't want to play against. He's a guy that when we were on the field playing against him, you would look at the line and be like, where is he? Is he in one-on-one coverage? Is he out wide? Are they chipping him? What are we doing to stop him? Now that's a player that we have. I'm excited about this defense. And you know me. I don't mind winning a 6-0 game and the defense just gets stop after stop after stop. I don't care. I think the potential of this defense to get at the quarterback and to get stops and 3rd and longs with that stadium rocking, man, it's going to be fun. This has really potential to be a special season for us as fans. I'm very, very excited about this. I'll say it again. Rodgers getting injured might be the greatest thing that ever happened to us because we had so many flaws on this roster revealed. Offensive line, wide receiver depth. If we go and win a Super Bowl this year, dude.
He's saying, what if I could regrow my hair, what would I choose as a hairstyle? I think the one I used to do when I was younger was because I love the Fonz. Is I always did the pushback DA, kind of like the Fonz, And then when I was a teenager, I started doing the side shaved, like a number 2 buzz, and the top I put the on the. No, I didn't do such a fade because it was the line. I did it shaved where there was a line over here, and then the top I put the gel in and spiked it. Like, so I had like kind of like a spiky, thicker hair, and then it was kind of shaved on the sides. Yeah, like yours right now, like turn. Yeah, but turns right. But I didn't really fade it though. It was like you could see the divide between the buzz and the thick hair. The other thing I wouldn't mind doing is having like Ricky New York hair. I always wanted to have like that rock and roll.
Ricky Martin?
Ricky New York in the chat.
I know.
I always wanted to have the rock and roll hair, not like Eddie Van Halen. I liked it more like the flat, like Ricky has it, like just long, just the long rock and roll hair.
I would too, Weed. You give him a nice Jufro, that would be great.
I had a Jufro. Like my hair was naturally curly. So I'd have to fight it when I did the DA, like when I used to push it back, it used to get curly and everyone used to call me Mork. Robin Williams, Mork from Mork.
Reddick.
Yeah, like that. Like Reddick, William Smith. These dudes have known each other since Pop Warner. They know Elite when they see it. Says a lot about Rodgers, who they have also known since forever. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
These guys go back, man. It's like a family.
Yeah. Dude, I'm pumped.
Jeremy, is this the stream you teased with Green Bean as the 4th drop? Either way, that was pretty damn funny. Yes. If you look at the thumbnail of the video, you didn't notice, Nick?
Oh, no, I saw it. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know what he meant.
Yeah, I put a picture of Green Bean, but it wasn't his normal shot. It looked like a mug shot.
It totally does.
It looks like a mug shot. Yeah, look at the thumbnail of this video. If anybody hasn't seen it, like when you get a chance, go like, I don't know how to do it from where you are, but like if you go and you look at the thumbnail of the of this video, look at the 4 choices I put in for our draft at 10. And you'll see someone very familiar. It's pretty funny. I know. I wish mods can create polls also. That would be great because it's really hard for me to do it while I'm running the show. But I do have Nick, so we could do polls. because I have Nick here to keep things going while I go in and do it. I think
Yeah,
I don't
ahead.
think you can.
I don't
But
have
what-
access. That would
Okay,
have to
let
be
me-
logged
let me-
into your YouTube to do it.
Let me try to do a poll.
I think you have to do it from the web browser. I don't think you could do it from your phone.
I think you're right.
I know I'm right. I tried to do it. You got to open up YouTube, and then
Yeah.
next to the chat bar, it has the plus.
Yeah.
Ask, Dane, calm down with all your demands. My God,
What is you demanding now?
you're like Jeremy's dog asking to go for a walk to McDonald's. Can you pipe down here with? Oh, that would be great. Yeah, we got to get a high school picture of you, Jim Pock. You're right. We need a high school picture of Chaos.
Well, let me figure this out. Okay. Where the hell is it? Oh,
I agree. Mike, the stat guy, I agree. Blowing an assignment and getting a sack is like running the wrong route and getting a touchdown. Let Reddick hunt. I agree. But if you're out of position and you're getting gutted in the run game because you're not doing your assignment, that's different.
why aren't you listed on here as one of my friends? Like where I put the links.
I've asked that myself. I don't know.
I've asked that
I
myself.
just screenshot that you a couple weeks ago. I was like,
I
what the
can't
fuck,
figure
bro?
out how to do a poll, bro.
Go to see where the chat bar is on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, there's a plus mark. Okay. there
There's
we
a
go.
plus, and then it'll have. There you go.
Start a poll. Here we go.
Ask the chat, how big of an idiot are we? And I said
Yeah.
we, not you. We're in this together, bro. We're a team.
First, I want
Jeremy's
to.
talented. Dane, Jeremy's more talented than me because I type and speak out loud. You look like you're much better off. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, the thumbnail's good. If you when you exit the chat or you look at the video on YouTube, there's three people. There's four actually. The fourth one is Green Bean with a mugshot. What looks like a mugshot. It's not a mugshot. That would be great payback if right as he's done doing all of this, I just ended the show on him. He does all the typing. Bloop.
Let's see. Who's another option that might be there? Okay, here we go. Start a poll.
All right. Starts the poll. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
And
All right, so there's your poll. Those of you on Twitter, I don't know if Twitter can do it. I think you have to go on to the YouTube show. So Jets Chaos. I
Yeah.
hope you could do it on Twitter. I just don't know. I don't think you can. Maybe I'm wrong. Green. Oh, Nick is very sly. He's just going to go onto Twitter and see.
I am.
See if you can participate in the poll from that.
I'm looking. I'm not sly.
Mike, the stat guy, says we went from Lorenzo Malden to complaining about 10 sacks plus a year. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Roger F, what's going on, man? Roger F, how's your little girl? I think it's the same. I think that might be the same person because it was like Rogue, future Olympian, right? So I think it's the same. His dog's name is Klecko, just like mine.
No poll in on Twitter. That's just a YouTube feature. YouTube doesn't. StreamYard will go to YouTube. StreamYard will go to Twitter. StreamYard will go to Facebook. YouTube doesn't go back to those. You know what I mean? What you're doing is strictly
it's
a
YouTube. I'm
feature.
doing it through YouTube. I'm doing it
Yeah.
through. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I
can't
don't
do
know
this.
what it's from, Ricky. I honestly do not know what it's from. It's just a very, very funny looking picture.
Actually, you know who the hair would be? What I said, it would be like Wayne's World. I'd have Wayne's hair from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would work with me. I'd have to get a nose job. Otherwise, I would look like someone trying to be a girl with my nose.
Oh, man.
I used to want a nose job when I was a kid.
Why'd you give up that dream? I would have stuck
You know,
with that.
do you know,
I think you should. I think you should
You know,
reacquire that
you want
dream.
to hear you want to see the funniest thing ever? This is real. This is real. Me and my friends, this was a big joke of ours. Check this out. Watch this. Popularity. Like lots of girlfriends. You don't know what I'm doing?
I know.
Can't see what I'm doing. That's a
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to get something up. Chloe's daughter, Clucko Revis, 2 Great Danes, me, Diabetes Foot, and Nick and I, Jenna. Yep.
Check this out. Living life without tons of anxiety. Willing to ride a motorcycle.
I love that the chat is quoting Zoolander. I'm not even paying attention to you. I'm just waiting. You know, talking to you. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Chloe daughter.
So what's
Flacco,
the
Revis.
poll looking like? That's what she said.
Yeah, I remember you, Roger. So it is the guy I think it is. She's
How do we
gonna
only have
be
20
in
votes?
and I'm gonna go.
Let's go, people. We only got 20 votes. Oh, Dunze's clearly winning right now.
Oh, he wanted a hairstyle poll. That's funny. Should have done a hairstyle poll. I didn't think of that. Should I look at the poll? What's going on here? Let me...
Just because I know that you besmirched your missus earlier with dinner, I wanted to let you know that it is 8:06 your time. We're over 2 hours.
We are? It can't
We
be 2
are.
hours. Rudy. You're kidding me.
No, it's
No way.
way. Oh, look at that! Another Wayne's World reference. Way.
Dunze won by a lot. Holy
Yeah.
cow. Holy cow. He crushed it. I didn't realize that's how the fan base felt. How many voters were there in that poll? Did it
7
say?
million.
Just 20? Oh, just 20 votes, though. Okay. That's crazy.
I would like to give a shout out to Ozempic because I've lost 14 pounds in 16 days.
That's awesome. Dude, I've got it. I got a doctor's appointment, but it's June 4th. That's how long you have to wait for an appointment. 2 months. But I'm supposed to see, it's the doctor in charge of, like, for that clinic, weight management. So I'm hoping that she's going to approve it. I might go in there, have the appointment, and she refuses to give me a prescription for it.
So you got 2 months worth of McDonald's trips to make sure you can solidify this, bro. Do it. I believe in you.
I know. I'm thinking of just like to make those blood results tests as bad as possible. I should just freaking eat McDonald's every day. Just like get myself near death and say,
Remember
I
that
can't
movie?
stop. If you
Remember
don't
that
give me
movie?
Ozempic, I'm going to die.
Supersize Me? That movie was
Supersize Me,
Supersize Me, where he ate it every
Where
day.
the doctor's like, you're pickling your liver. You go, I advise you to stop this nonsense right away.
I have a feeling that'll be your doctor.
You're pickling your liver. I love the guy that goes. Remember the Jeremy character that he met? I eat a Big Mac every day, 3 Big Macs a day for the last 30 years. It was like this weird guy that looked like Joey Ramone with a haircut, and he was like bragging about how he's eaten like 3,500 Big Macs in the last 10 years or something.
Ricky New York with the long hair. He kind of has a Ramon vibe to him, right? With like that long hair.
That's what I'm saying. That's
All
the
right.
thing. If I could, that would be my like new choice. Like that would be cool to have long hair, rock and roll, man. This is a good probiotic. Dude, I need Ozempic. I'm not joking. I freaking have an appetite that does not stop. It's ridiculous.
If Neighbors or Odunze isn't there, I'm taking Fashanu. If Neighbors or Odunze isn't there, I want to trade out.
Yeah, well, I hope we're able to trade down, man. I hope. I really want a second round pick, or at least another third, at the very least. Then we take the 2/3 maybe, or 1/3, 1/4, move up to the top of the third. Get into the top, get into 60, 61, 62, somewhere there. Why is Dane saying 495? What the hell does that mean?
That's what Becton's weight is up to now that he's not on a team.
He must be trying. Like his agent must be on the phone.
Oh,
right?
yes, he looks good. He looks good without having to be injured. Like I think he's slimmer now than we ever saw him. He's still posting pictures.
Oh, he is? Because he wants someone to sign him.
I mean, it's good for him too, like to be committed to not being that large.
We're not even talking to him. Like, is there a chance we are and they're not saying anything? Like, we're not even talking to him to be a swing tackle?
No.
Really?
I don't think we will. I think that ship has sailed. I just think it's sometimes you're better off in a new place. And you could see all the teams chomping at the bit to get to him, right?
Becton needs Ozempic. Oh, man, that's bad. I need Ozempic. I'm not even hiding from it. I mean, we've got a lot of weight to lose, man. A lot of weight. I can't even walk around. It's like because you're carrying around like a 50-pound backpack.
That Rodgers dropping Jerry the King Lawler, Henny Youngman one-liners in the chat. Rodgers just dropped those last couple comments are like Jerry the King Lawler, Henny Youngman joke book jokes. They're fantastic. Here you go. I went to the dentist and told her that my teeth were getting yellow. She said, wear a green Jets tie. He had another one. Here you go. My doctor told me he has bad news for me. He said that I have cancer and Alzheimer's disease. I said to the doctor, it's a good thing I don't have Alzheimer's. I like those. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. We'll do this and head out.
Yep.
What's the most you would give up to secure one of these top 3 wide receivers? My right big toe. If I could get Marvin Harrison Jr., I would love to restore balance in my universe. I would give up the toe. I would go have the surgery tomorrow. I would give up my dream scenario is the Chargers at 5 allows us to get Neighbors or Odunze. And it's this year's 1, next year's 2, this year's 4. And if I got to give up next year's 4 with it, I'm okay with that. We're all in. Let's be all in.
If it was for Neighbors, I'm okay with that. I don't know about Odunze, but for Neighbors, I'm okay with that. Because if you just get Neighbors, it's like, okay, then this round we still get a 72, so we can still get something there. And then next year we'll just figure it out without, what are we losing, a second rounder and a fourth rounder?
Yeah.
We just figure it out.
Best case scenario for the Jets is somebody trades up to 4 and takes a quarterback. And Harrison and Neighbors or Odunze all bump down.
Right.
And if the Titans want linemen, if the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, theoretically, obviously, receivers will be 5, 6, 7 availability. That's if nobody else goes, right? That's if no one else trades up for another quarterback. If people are hearing Penix, Vegas has fallen in love with Penix, or Minnesota could be in love with Penix to even go up to 5. That would put receivers at 6, 7, and 8 if 5 quarterbacks go first. So it's going to be interesting. I'm willing to go up to 5. I'm willing to give up this one, next two, a 4 and a 4, I'll even give up. I would give up more for Harrison or Neighbors because I just think what they do to this offense and what they do for Rodgers. And if, God forbid, Rodgers has to miss time, you still have receivers that can do everything, and Taylor can succeed with those guys. It's going to be exciting, man. I know offensive line's not the sexy pick, and I'm not saying I want a sexy pick. I just think that with Carter Warren, who they're big on, he can be a swing tackle. Don't forget, we still got Vera Tucker if we need to get that far into tackle. Even though we don't want to move him, he's there. You can then bring in a Schweitzer and put Tucker out, and that might be a better line than a rookie anyway. So we got to factor that in, that we do have some guys who can change positions and be valuable to this team, even though it might not be ideal. And that positional flexibility that Joe Douglas loves could be very enticing to say, let's get another weapon, because if Garrett Wilson goes down, we don't have anybody that scares the other team.
Oh, that's true. Well, look, everybody, that will be it. We ran late, and I could be even in more trouble. But wow, it went by fast. That flew. I had no idea. I didn't believe you. I would have guessed we were an hour and 20 into the show. I would not have believed you. But look.
Well, if we learned anything tonight, you're the wire. I'm not.
That's right.
Your poor dog.
Guys, thanks for I'll take them both out for a walk tomorrow. I promise everybody. Take care. Thanks for joining us. Remember to subscribe on YouTube to Jets Chaos. It's a proud New York Jets fan. Also, Brooklyn Brothers Food Review. Just reviewed Joe's Pizza. Like, I just released that video of me reviewing the famous Joe's Pizza in New York City. Check it out. And take care and go Jets.
And now, welcome to Pride and Chaos.
Welcome to the darkest year of our adventures. Oh, yeah!
And now, give it up for Jeremy and Rick.
Now you scared me.
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Whoa, that was cool.
Hey, and you could go and you could shove it up your ass. No, don't mimic me, man. I'm pissed about this. But that's what you always have to do. But you had to bring up the McDonald's, right? You had to make me tell that story.
Listen, man, don't fucking blame me. I don't give a shit if we're not on air anymore. You have a fucking problem, and my job as your friend is to help you. If I have to publicly shame you to help you get a fucking healthier dog, I'll do it.
We don't need to broadcast my problems to everybody in the show, man. The show is supposed to be about the Jets. The Jets. It's supposed to be about the Jets.
Says the guy with 7 McDonald's cups loitering in the room because he's afraid to throw them out and get yelled at.
Look.
As he sips from the McDonald's cup.
Well, look, man.
What?
I'm totally serious. Look, just because you got your act together and you're eating really well, I'm the guy now that's being fat shamed. I'm the one that's being shamed into, about my McDonald's habit, okay? Look, I didn't want anybody to know this, but I injected a McDonald's vanilla milkshake in my, like a drug intravenously to see what would happen the other day.
I get it.
I need help, man.
Listen, I feel bad for you because we know you don't have personality. We know you don't have looks. We just need you to be in shape. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you help yourself.
But to do it in front of everybody, I mean, that guy Dano,
Public
come
shaming.
on, that
Public
guy's
shaming
white
works.
trash. That guy's white trash. I'm airing out my problems in front of white trash.
Why don't you take the McDonald's and throw it in the trash?
I should. I don't even know who this guy Jim Pock even is. Who wants to meet me at Wendy's or something? I don't know what this guy's gonna do.
I can't believe these people watch us. I mean, what did we do in life to be blessed like this?
Why are the chatting like almost like you think they would be able to they could hear us? They're still in there chatting.
You ended the stream, right?
Don't let me walk my. I didn't end the stream. What the hell, dude? Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I just like making fun of you.